Hello, guys. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are coming from. Hi, my name is Taj, and this is.
Crystal.
She's my mom, for those of you who can't see us and you're listening to this podcast from an audio place. I don't we don't have a hosting spot yet, but yeah, we are the Quality Time podcast, and over here we are mother and daughter. That's what I was trying to get at. We look very identical, for those of you who can't see us, and we decided to do this podcast because I feel like we've been in conversation a lot just about things that we want to share, and I don't know, just a lot of really insightful discussions have occurred lately, and we thought it would be really beneficial to start a podcast. So, Mommy, do you want to, I still call her Mommy, do you want to talk to the viewers about why we call it the Quality Time Podcast?
Of course, of course. So we
Okay.
came up with the idea of quality time because that is something that's important to both of us. Quality time is actually a love language. I'm not sure if you all are aware. There's a gentleman named Dr. Gary Chapman who wrote a book focused on the five love languages, and it relates to work, family, love relationships, and those languages are acts of service, gift giving, physical touch, um, um, uh, quality
Words of
time,
affirmation? Did we say
and
that?
yes, words of
Yeah.
affirmation. Yeah, those are the five. And so all of those, um, when I read that book, it just the quality time is what stood out for me, and it's something that's always been very important. It's to me, it's priceless. It's worth gold, more than gold. Like it's something you cannot replace. You can't get your time back, right? And the
Mm-hmm.
time that you have with others, those memories, those last forever. And
Mm-hmm.
so, for me and Taji, we spend a lot of time together, and those moments are quality and they're meaningful. And we both love tea, and
Mm-hmm.
so the tea time, and us having talks over tea, um, it's there's history there, and a lot of people did that a long time ago. Taji's very in touch with that old time British, you know,
British.
cakes and teas and
Uh-huh.
teacups, and she loves that. I do as well, and so we just thought it was appropriate to name our podcast after that. It's so in line with the two things that we're very passionate about.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very Bridgerton. But I think that yeah, my favorite tea at the moment would probably did you mention yours? Did you say what your
No,
favorite?
I didn't. Go ahead. Talk
Oh,
about
okay.
yours.
Okay, the tea that I have been loving lately, you guys, right now, of course, is I love matcha. I don't think I could get through a day without a matcha. In the days that I've tried, I have felt like a zombie of a person. I don't know if I'm just like dependent on it now. I don't really know what the deal is. But I've been loving matcha, right, as like a good morning wake up. But on days when I'm feeling a lot more stressed, overstimulated, everything is just kind of chaotic, I like a nice Zen by Tazo tea. And my mom loves the brand Tazo. Taze, I hope we're saying it right. I'm not sure. But you like their chai, right?
Yes, the chai and
Mm-hmm.
the matcha. Now I fall in love with that one too. But yes, they're
What
chai
was
tea.
it?
Matcha and chai. They have
Oh,
two.
okay.
They have several, but those are
That
the two
come
I.
in the box with the plastic cap, right?
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
It's already a condensed tea that you can
Mm-hmm.
add milk or water to and make it however you want. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah. And
You,
so go ahead.
yeah, sorry, mom. You'll have to let me know, you guys, if you think that the experience of like a matcha from a coffee shop is the same as like the box version. Because like my mom has recommended the Tazo matcha to me, but it's not the same as when you get it in store. And I don't know if it's the blending process, or the frothing, or whatever it is that the coffee shops do specifically that makes it what it is, but I've had a different effect on my body depending on like which way I have it. But yeah, we're getting a little bit off topic. We as we could talk about tea for days, which is literally why quality time and tea has been incorporated into the title of said podcast. But yes, just referring to my notes, if I'm ever looking down, that's probably why, you guys. We both tend to go on tangents, so we want to keep it as condensed as possible when we can, if we can. But yeah, so in terms of quality time with us, Mommy, do you want to talk a little bit about ways that you felt you spent a lot of quality time, like with your family growing up, and then also I'll chime in and I'll share some of the moments that I liked that were really important to me, quality time wise, growing up.
Yeah, okay, absolutely. Well, going back just to the tea one more time, 'cause I did want to
Mm-hmm.
mention this.
Yeah.
My mother, she did introduce me to tea when I was young, and I had um, she used to give me. And the other thing we don't talk about is tea comes in. Obviously it's in the box, but there's the tea bags, right?
Mm.
It's sieving it in a tea bag. It's definitely spices and things like that. And so the English tea is what my mother used to give me, and she poured in um, sweet condensed carnation milk
Oh,
into my
cute.
tea.
Hmm.
So I'd have little toast, toasted sugar, cinnamon sugar toast, and I dip it. That was my little tea cakes.
That's so
So
cute.
yeah, so I remember though. That's like one of the memories I cherish with my mother. She was always in the kitchen cooking. She made this cornbread that I've never tasted anywhere else. I don't know.
Mm.
And I remember she passed when I was so young, so I wasn't able to get the recipe. But just those were the most memorable moments for me. It's just the time that I spent with her. Her in the kitchen. She was always baking.
Mm.
Just very um, like a hostess, always entertaining and making sure everything was just right. And so
Yeah.
I just recall the times with her like that. So those are some of my fondest moments with my mother. And then, of course, I love a good movie, cuddling up with my family and in a blanket and watching movies. And then, talking about those. So those are some of the things I love to do.
Yeah. I feel like that's so cute. Going back to just like quality time stuff, I like I think you did tell me this story before, and I'm hearing it for the second time today. But what I love about this podcast is that when my mom's sharing stories like this, like when we're just talking, there are things that I discover when we're talking more of like when we're talking more planning out the podcast and just things regarding the podcast. I'll hear things from her that I haven't heard before, like stories or just different things that like I don't know why. Like I've never heard them before. Maybe I just never asked. Maybe I need to get better at asking questions. Uh, but yeah, so guys, like if you ever are trying to like hear more about your family members, you should talk to them like you're on a podcast, because you never know what you could find out. But yeah, I don't know if I was supposed to answer a question or not. I was supposed to share some things from my childhood. Um, well, okay, one of the things that I wanted to point out is that my mom, like, boss girl. Like literally, since I was a child, she had the heels, she had the suit, she had the like everything going on was working constantly to provide for me, and I'm so grateful. But she never forgot to spend like quality time with me. Like I will never forget feeling like my mom was like my first best friend. You know what I mean? Like we would have little spa days together. We would whatever we used to do. We used to make little like foot spas with like little bowls. We put like the soap in it, and then you had um like nail kit accessories and stuff that I
Yeah.
would like play with. And if we weren't doing that, I was getting her hooked on shows she didn't want to watch, and then she got hooked because I made her watch. One of them being Vampire Diaries,
Yes.
and yeah, we ended up spending a lot of just quality time together, and I always found it very interesting because my friends were like, you just like hang out with your mom, like you just like watch TV shows and like you guys do nail spas at home. And I was like, yeah, like this is like a regular thing for us. And that was always baffling to some of my friends. And so I'm just so grateful that my mom made it a point to like sit with me and like do cute little things like that I can remember. And so, if I'm ever like, oh, I'm gonna go and get my nails, like I'm reminded of my mother, Or even like she was saying, her mom was always in the kitchen. Like I'll never forget the meatloaf that you would make me. Like there was this, I don't know what it was, but it was so sweet and it was just marinated perfectly and everything about it was flawless. Chicken pot pie, like I know those were like the little microwaved ones, right? Or were they? I don't know. Or like you put them in the oven. I would tear those up. And then same with banana pudding. Just there's so many things, and we can expand on this further into the podcast. But you, I feel like a lot of people don't realize like how important those sensory memories are. Just spending quality time and being around those that you love. And yeah, I just think that the podcast is a place where we can kind of reminisce and capture, like go back and reflect on those things and what they meant to each other. And yeah, just wraps all of this whole quality time stuff together. Yeah, so we have a little bit of structure right now. It's the first podcast, guys, so be gentle with us. But yeah, so how do we spend quality time with each other now, mommy?
So,
Would you say?
now obviously there's distance between us, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so the time now is thank goodness for FaceTime, right? So
Mm-hmm.
we're still able
Yeah.
to see each other. So we do that, and checking in every day when we can. We try to
Mm-hmm.
check in every day,
Yeah.
um, even if it's by text. Just
Mm-hmm.
making sure you're doing okay, and then when we can take little trips to see each other, and we're planning
Yeah.
some trips upcoming
Yes.
to some places we want to go. And that's one of the questions I wanted to ask.
Oh.
Um, you know, with what and I'm sure you'll bring this up too, the things that we're embodying, right? And things and the
Mm,
peace that we want in our lives.
yeah.
So for you and I, like now we have to travel to see each other. And
Mm,
so we have some trips and places in mind. But one thing I like to think about too is just, what is that the most beautiful place you've seen, or the most beautiful place that
mm,
where you go and get peace. For
mm.
me is, I love the beach, right? I love
Yeah,
going to
she
the
loves the
beach,
sea.
and spending time near the water and just hearing the water and the sound of water is just so soothing to me.
She's
So
so
that's
Moana coded. She's like, I am the girl who loves my island and the girl who loves the sea. Literally.
yes, yes, absolutely, absolutely. So and that's the thing, like quality, all the things that deal with quality time is we incorporate music and art and all the things that we're passionate and we love. So what Taji just did right there, I love that. That's part of our quality time.
The
She's
singing.
referencing the movie that we sung and when we watched and singing songs, and
Mm.
that's something we always do. So
Oh, yeah. Speaking of, yeah. So, like, Tangled is coming out with a live action. And I cannot be more excited about that because that is one of my favorite, like, Disney movies. But yeah, we always quote like "Mother Knows Best." We quote a lot of like Tangled songs just because they're funny to
we
us.
do.
But yeah, like even like The Incredibles, like a lot of Disney things, and it's so interesting because it's come full circle. But we won't get too much into that. Um, uh, you guys can do your own research. What was I gonna say? I think, oh yeah, you were talking about embodiment, right? So that's honestly the topic of today's podcast. We're sort of easing into things right now, so we haven't gotten like straight to it just yet. But I remember having conversations, mommy, with you about just what it feels like when we are in our most ideal headspace, like our most ideal self. Like, what kinds of music are we listening to? What places are we going to? Who are we surrounding ourselves with? What things that like are we consuming? What are we reading? What are we listening? And how does that end up informing that ideal persona, like who we want to be, what we're striving to be, as we're doing those things? So for you, like, let's say like when you're or when you okay, let's futurize in your most ideal version, like what do you see her doing? Oh, and I didn't even answer your question. We were supposed to be talking about like where we want to travel, and I completely just jumped ship. I'm
It's
so
okay.
sorry. I have ADHD, y'all. Just be patient with me. But yeah, do you want to chime in about that first?
um, yeah. So, in, you know, um, for me, I guess I have to think about that a little bit more. That girl. So I think we talked about this briefly. It's really just um, that woman who just shows up,
Mm-hmm.
her best self, sharp, classy, um, got it together. Just knows, um, confident, um, and just with the attitude of nothing can stop me, and nothing is impossible. I can make it happen, and I'm gonna get it done, no matter
Yeah,
what it takes. Um,
I'm
which
possible.
exactly, exactly. So yeah, so that's what I embody, and just and I'm sorry, what was the other part of the question? I'm not sure if I'm
Oh,
in.
I skipped over your question and then asked you that, and you answered that. But we were supposed to be talking about like our most ideal place to like visit, like in
Mm-hmm.
our dream place.
Yeah. Well, my dream place really is Dubai. I would love to go to Dubai.
Mm.
But also, I think as you get, that's the place I wanted to go like since I was in high school. Now
Mm-hmm.
everyone goes to Dubai. It's not that it's not a place I don't want to go, but there's so many places all over the world like that I've learned now that I think Bali. Cacao. There's a place called Cacao. Um, there's even in my own city in Atlanta. There's all
Mm.
these little hidden gems.
Yeah.
In the mountains. First of all, I
Yeah.
didn't know Atlanta had mountains because we grew up in Colorado
Yeah,
with the
we
Rocky
did.
Mountains. So,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, but just for me, it's just exploring the world. You know, I'm looking just for a place where I love now, as I'm older, to be in
Mm,
nature. I took it for granted when I was growing
yeah.
up in Colorado. The mountains are so majestic and beautiful. I did not take advantage of them, and
Yeah.
so now, so for me, that's it. Just being in nature, and so some beautiful places. I mean, I have a long list, but on the top of my head, Bali, Dubai, the Maldives is one. I've
Mm,
never been to Hawaii. You know, everyone wants to go there. So, you know, a lot of places like that. But anywhere where there's
mm,
water and beaches.
that's fair.
How about
Oh
you?
my God. I'm kind of, I don't want to say I'm opposite, but I think instead of being like near big bodies of water, I think I prefer to be closer to like a forest, like just greenery and just being in places that feel really quiet, and the only things around you are really just like animals and like the wind and stuff like that. So for me, and I also, I was gonna say I don't know if I love the rain, but I think I do. I kind of want to just go to a place that feels quiet and still and just, I'm a night owl anyway. I'm up when everyone else is asleep. I like that feeling of just being able to think clearly and in silence. And so I probably would want to go someplace like Edinburgh, or like I've even considered Canada, because there's been a couple of acting projects where it's like, oh, you could potentially work in Canada, and I've done some vision boarding, and I'm like, oh, Canada might not be that bad, as far as just getting to a place that's close to the US, but that's like still out,
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I don't. I just like. I'm like. I don't want to stay here. It's not that. I just think Oregon probably is the closest place in LA that I could see myself going, or I'd go back to Colorado. But the thing about Colorado is the snow and the weather. It's unpredictable, and I don't like going outside in a full coat and then leaving by the end of the day, and it's rained, and then it's sunny, and you don't even know what you got on. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I need something a little bit more stable, and yeah, I just wanna live in a cabin in the woods, and I want
Mhm.
to have tea with my mom, and I just want to get away from like the hustle and bustle of the city for a little bit, and if I can just be in my little tinker's nook, that would be great. So yeah, I was just telling my mom about this restaurant that I saw that was based in Taiwan, and it's got these like beautiful ponds that surround the restaurant, and like the ponds, like they have steam rising off, and the plating and just the tea and like everything about the little pastries, it just looks so like tinker's nook coated, like just like little flowers and just dainty, just earth. I love it. I love everything about it. So yeah, that's currently what's on my mind, and then maybe Japan, because I know my mom's sister just came back from Japan and she loved it,
Yeah.
and she brought me back so much like what's the word? I don't want to say memorabilia because it's not that, but it's I got like a magazine, I got a cute little bag, and these are all for the group that I like. Their name is An Team, and they're based out of Japan. And so if I got to see them in concert, I'd probably want to go and visit Japan too.
Yes.
Yeah.
All beautiful places.
We have to plan a trip. We gotta make one of those happen this year. Guys, help us. Help us.
Mother
We're
daughter
gonna we're
trip.
gonna yeah, we're gonna start a Patreon if you guys want like exclusive Q&As, or if you just have questions for us. We're trying to see if we can maybe even do like little live stream movie nights like at some point, just of like stuff that we personally love to watch, and if you just want to watch with us, yeah, so we'll have a Patreon, and I'll link a tier under my Talks with Taj, because that's my main channel, but the podcast will have its own tier where you can watch stuff with us and get exclusive content and let us know what you guys want to see, and we'll see if we can add it over there. We got some pretty hectic schedules and a 3-hour time difference, but we will do our very best.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And back to that too with the quality time in movies.
Mm.
Something Tajma and I were talking about recently is, all the things I loved, I passed on to her.
She sure
Surprised when she
did.
talked about
She sure
Annie and how
did.
she loves that movie, and
Mm.
Shirley Temple. Those are all little
Yeah.
girls I watched. I watched their shows growing up, passed it on, and
I was
then
just telling her this. Like,
yeah, and the same thing for my mother and my father. A lot of
mm-hmm.
things that he watched and loved, and his music. And I just pass it on. So
Yeah.
I appreciate the fact that she has grown to love the same things I loved as a
Yeah.
child.
I think I even love boy bands because my mom like loved boy bands and she would play their music for me. What was it, like New Edition,
New
right?
edition all
New
day. Yeah.
Edition, and I would listen to a lot of like Mary J. Blige, Ray J. Who's the guy you like?
Genuine.
Genuine. I was like Ja Rule. That's not right. Genuine. And yeah, I always quote things. Charlie Wilson was my song. Hey girl, how you doing? My name is Charlie. Last name Wilson. Here's my
Yeah.
number. Yeah, that is like my favorite thing ever. That and then any redhead lead protagonist was my thing. Like I loved Annie. I loved Madeline. I loved Maggie and the Ferocious Beast. Was Shirley Temple a redhead? I don't think she was technically a redhead. I think maybe we associated her with Annie.
I
Yeah, no,
think
she didn't have
more
red hair. She had like
was blondish.
blonde, brown. Yeah. Um, but yeah, any small but mighty lead protagonist
Yeah.
that danced, sang, had her own way of doing things, developed my whole personality. So thank you for those fire personalities that have turned me into the sassy girl I am today. But yes, so speaking of, I know that you had touched on like your highest self, like the whole like embodiment idea. I did want to talk about that a little bit because I know that we were talking about how we wanted to like get back to those versions of ourselves. Like I know that sometimes in life gets in the way and patterns that we've started to form over time when things have gotten difficult start to become like the predominant things that we do, and then it can be a little bit hard to get to who we used to be that we felt like in our heads was thriving. You know, I don't know if any of what I'm saying makes sense, but I feel like at one point when I first got out to LA, I was like, oh my gosh, like I just have so much energy. And when you first come out to LA and you just have all that energy and you just want to audition for everything, they call you green. And I was green and I was like super excited. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like all these great opportunities are coming my way and I'm going to get them. And like nothing in my head, like was convinced otherwise. Like I had paid like a $900 next day flight, plopped myself in LA. My mom did not know this, by the way. I said I'm going out here for the summer for a callback for something that's not guaranteed, but I'm gonna do it because you told me growing up that there's nothing I can't do. And so I did it. And guys, I got here and they would not see me. Literally, it was a role for Amazon, and they were like, "You're gonna have to shave your head," and I was like, "I'm down." And I do not think I would look good with a shaved head, but I was like, "I'm down." And they were
Oh,
basically like, "Oh, so just kidding. We actually don't need to see her." And I was just like,
oh no.
what? And so my manager was like, don't panic. He bought me a rotisserie chicken. He gave me $100. He was like, stay for a week, please. We're going to get you another audition. And I was like, okay. And he did. And the next role I went out for, the very next one, it was this Nickelodeon princess based in a video game type character, very much up my alley. It was motion capture, basically. It was the first kind of project that they were trying to do, and it would have been my voice, my face, and my body movement, and they would have turned me into this animated character. They were trying to do like video games, and it was like a family of video game characters. It was really intense, and I was so excited about it. And there was like a month long callback. Like I had to go in like 4 or 5 times and read with a bunch of different moms, a bunch of different dads, and like all this stuff, and they mixed and matched us. And I booked it, guys. Like within a month, I had come out here, I was broke, and I had left, and I had a check, and I was like, yes, this is going great. We're having a wonderful time. And then COVID hit, and then it got canceled, and I was like, but it's okay because moral of the story is the reason I booked that part was because of embodiment. And I want to talk about that because at that time I was like kind of stressed. I was like, okay, the stakes are high. Like I can't even afford to get back home. Like I don't know what I just did. But I trusted that if I did all the research, I had like a 75-page Word document with images, with paragraphs about my character. And I was like, what shoes would she wear? What kind of music would she wear? What kind of music would she listen to is what I meant to say. And so I had like a Sharpay Evans-esque what's it called, playlist, because she was very Cher from Clueless, very Sharpay Evans, any like blondish pinky like personality type that you could think of. And I had a whole playlist. I showed up to the audition in these sparkly shoes, even got complimented on them, and I was like, oh, I thought they were very Nova. And I watched a bunch of animated cartoons because that's what they were designing it as. And so I had a visual reference for every little thing that I could possibly imagine her in, like every scenario. I had Pinterest boards of what her room looked like, what their house looked like, the layout. And that's essentially what you're supposed to do when you're manifesting like your highest self. And I had done it on accident, you know, because I was trying to book a character, but I had even drawn, this is the craziest thing, I had even drawn like a picture of like the kind of boy that she'd probably have a crush on or something. And I drew a little crown on his head, guys, and he had a little sash, and I had a picture reference, all of this. Why did I meet this exact actor at a premiere? What? Why can't I talk today? At a premiere, I met this exact boy that was in that picture on my Google Doc vision board 2 years later at a movie premiere for Disney Marvel. Like,
Yes.
that's
Yes.
on Embodiment. Like,
Yes.
and
So let's
never,
talk about the
yeah,
importance of visualization. We'll come back
right.
in just
Visualizing all of it. Like in my head, had a physical photo reference for every little thing. I was like, oh, she likes to go to the spa. Had a picture of an animated character and her best friend at the spa. What does she like to do on weekends? Oh, she likes to go horseback riding. She went to a private school. She did all of this stuff. Like I had all of it in my head. And eventually that literally became my reality. It's not so much a matter of like just visualizing too. Like you almost have to, like I was literally in my mirror every single day like, hi, I'm Tajade and I play the role of Nova and Meet the Foxels, like whatever that, like I was like acting kind of insane, but you have to. Being Delulu is this Lulu. And so yeah, so I just, that's just my little story. I don't know if any of that is going to be helpful, and I feel like I can talk about this now because it's been like 4.5 years. I have always been kind of scared to say anything about it because it didn't actually get, but it's on my IMDb, like it has been for years. So that was kind of the process, and I'm so grateful for that project specifically because I come out here being like, oh, I was always told that I was a film actress, like you're going to be on TV, you're going to be in movies, like that's your thing. And I grew up being like a musical theater kid, so I was really used to like larger than life acting, like big characters. I mean, I grew up with Annie and I grew up with Shirley Temple, you know, like that was the energy I was trying to embody. And so Nova, this princess, was the first kind of character, and I'll insert some visuals for you guys, like if you want to see kind of what she looked like. It never went to series, like I said, but still booked it. But basically, I had done everything that I could to get into that headspace of who she was and like what she represented for me and how I could put pieces of myself with her. Like, you know, I had done pageants that my mom forced me to, like, there was one pageant, guys, that would have changed the whole trajectory of my career. And I'll let you talk about why you made me do this because, I won't get too specific about which pageant it was, but there was a pageant and I tried to drop out a few times because I was just like, this is a lot and I don't want to do this anymore. My mom was like, you need to do it and like just like stick through and just stick with it because I like to quit everything at that age. I was like, I don't really want to do gymnastics anymore. I want to jump to this creative thing and then jump to this thing and then jump to this thing. And that pageant, the prize package for it was these acting and modeling classes at this place called Barbizon Southwest, right, in Colorado, and loved them down. They supported me. They really did. You take these modeling and acting classes, and then at the very end of it, they have you compete in this talent showcase. And the talent showcase is really expensive, you guys. And we had spent a long time like raising money for it, but they had ended up like sponsoring me the remainder of the money because I didn't have it. And they were like, "We believe in you, so just like compete for Actor of the Year for this." And that never would have happened if my mom didn't make me do this pageant. Anyways, and that's on also having people around you that support your dreams, okay? Because you are, what do we say? You are a combination of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. One of them being my mom, hence Quality Time Podcast. Anyways,
Yeah.
I've been yapping for 400 years, and I just want to say the reason that I felt like I could do any of this, and I had an unwavering sense of like, oh well, like whatever happens, happens, is because my mother has never once not supported me in something that I wanted to do. Like, I don't care what it was. Like, she was like, do it. Like, you got it. Like, you're gonna slay. Like, you're amazing. Like, you're so talented. Love you. And then she would get mad at me if I didn't invite her to my events. Like, if I had a choir concert or something and I didn't tell her, she would get so mad at me. So yeah, anyways, I'll let you speak because I've been rambling and I got excited. Go ahead.
So let's like kind of backtrack a little bit. So with the yes, I always was encouraging you to go after your dreams. You know, whatever you thought that you could do. What's the word I do not allow is can't.
Yeah, it's not in the
Can't not learn.
vocabulary.
And you can do anything you put your mind to. And literally that's the put your mind to it. And so with that being said, even with the character that you embodied, right? You
Yeah.
saw yourself. The thing is, your mind doesn't know anything different. If you tell your mind that you are this, you tell your mind that you're going to be this, you continually say it, and that's where the visualization comes in. Visualizing, putting your head on a photo with the body, or putting yourself in the vehicle that you want to drive one day.
Yeah.
Putting yourself in the home that you, and looking at it. That's what those vision boards are all about. And your mind, like I said, doesn't know any different.
Yeah.
And so if you continue to visualize that, and then you embrace it, like you're saying, embody it, it's going to happen. And so and I guess I instilled that in you because not only did I truly believe you could do it, because you could, it's just a matter of all it is focus, right? And determination. And sticking through it and finishing, right? All the way, not giving up in the end. Because in the day, you don't know into your situation what all the different things that could be in store, all the doors that could open for you doing one thing could lead to a lot of other different things.
That's true.
To put you in the space, as you saw, with other people that could open other doors, which literally got you to LA, so, and that's the part where you just stick through it, see what happens. And again, full circle, building relationships, right? And it's not necessarily a love language, but just building those relationships with people and sticking through. At the end of the day, you're going to be able to accomplish whatever you put your heart into. And so that's something that I feel, and you can probably share more later, Taj, but you've seen the evidence of that over and over in your life, right?
Yeah.
And I have too. I have plenty of testimonies to that. And it's hard. A lot of times you have a lot of different distractions. You'll have people that may not believe in you, people that may want to discourage you, but the thing is, it's your vision, right? It's what you believe. And you should never let anyone else stop you, because a lot of times it's their own, someone's telling you what you can't do is their own
and they're
doubt.
Projecting, right?
And you should never let someone else project their doubts on you.
That's true.
Because if it's your vision and you're passionate about it, no one can take that from you. So go after it and finish it.
It's also, to play devil's advocate, though, also, like, the same goes for if people are telling you or, like, projecting certain dreams on you that aren't yours, like, it doesn't mean that you have to adopt certain things that people have told you that you are, that people have told you that you have to be, like, stuck in, or, like, this is, because I think humans specifically were given, like, that sixth sense, that intuition towards those things that they love, like their passions. And I think that feeling is there so that you know what compass to follow. Like, if I had just stuck towards, like, everything that I was just super passionate about, I think I would have been a lot happier sooner, instead of trying to, like, fit myself into the mold of, like, what I was told I should be. And never by my mom, honestly. Like she said, I do whatever I want, and so I did. But it's just, it can be hard when you're on that, tug of war rope, and it's like, do I go over here? Do I do this thing? And I just think your heart always kind of knows what's best. And you had said something earlier that I wanted to touch on, but I can't remember what it was. I think you had said, the people, I was saying it's sometimes important, like, for example, with this podcast, we're just kind of doing this, like, for fun, but we also know that sometimes there are people out there that will relate to a message if, we're the ones that are saying it. And I think it would be a disservice for us to be like, oh, like, like, my hair looks crazy today, or I'm too tired today, like, let's just not do the podcast. Because you never know. There could be one person out there, even if it's just one person, who got a little bit of energy, a little bit of motivation, a little bit of just, like, hope from a few simple words that we specifically have said that can help them, like, on the direction of their dreams, And so, and my mom has said that several times in the past, like, week or so. And I wanted to, like, because it was so powerful. I literally witnessed it firsthand, like, what her words could do for someone else. And so it's just like, we got to start this podcast today. Yeah. So, yeah.
And to touch on that too, like, yeah, a lot of times you just mentioned, you allow, oh, I'm not feeling up to it, or oh my gosh, I got to do this and that,
Yeah.
and you may talk yourself out of doing certain things that you're called to do.
Mm.
And so I say push through, because again, to your point, it's not for you. All the times it may not be for you. It may be for someone else. It could be just one person that may need to hear
Yeah.
what you're going, even when you're down, someone else may need to hear that will actually uplift them to see you overcome whatever you
Yeah.
go through, right? And
Exactly.
also
Oh, it's so
to know
true.
that you're not alone. Like,
Yeah.
you may be feeling, we may feel it, someone else may be feeling that same way and be putting themselves down over it and thinking they're the only person feeling that way, and it's not true.
Yeah.
Even those people that they look up to, that you put on a pedestal, they have bad
Right.
days too, and they're human too, right? And you'll be
Exactly.
surprised that they're going through the same thing you're going through, but it's they have to find, you got to figure out what that is for you that's going to
Mm.
allow you to move move past it or move through it. If it's a community, find a community
Mm.
of other women, other people that share your similar commonalities.
Yeah.
Whatever it is that you have a go-to, is picking up the phone. In that situation you're talking about, it was a phone call. Sometimes you just need a phone call from a family member that
Yeah.
will lift your spirit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I have a friend, and I tell her all the time, Miss Sharon, that all I have to do is hear her voice. Her
Mm.
voice, just it's soothing. It's like there's no words I can explain. Like,
Yeah.
if I call her, just the sound of her voice is gonna lift my spirits, right? So
That's so cute.
you have that, whoever that is for you. And it doesn't have to be a person. It could be, self care. Taja, you're very good at that. Going
Thanks.
and taking a spa, having a spa day, or just relaxing, reading a book,
Yeah.
going to the beach, whatever it is, that allows you to reset and restore and, you know, get you back in alignment. So back to what you're talking about, like, how do you embody what that is? And it's learning yourself, being self-aware, and in learning how to um, pull yourself up from a place that you know is not your normal place, right? A place that
Mm.
may require some soul searching and
Mm-hmm.
some motivation. And that's the thing too. You don't want to always rely on someone else. You can do it yourself. Sometimes you need
Yeah.
that's it's self motivation to push you forward,
Right.
right? So and then it's just aligning yourself with the positive thinking. Reading positive affirmations. There's so many
Mm.
different things you can do for yourself to bounce back. But
Yeah.
back to what you're saying though, that is, if you know that there is a calling on your life, or there's some area that you need to be spending more time or dedicating more of your effort, and if it's creating something, if it's talking to someone, if it's doing a podcast, if it's um, you know going and volunteering in the community, whatever it is, whatever you feel like you're called to do, don't wait. I know that uh, the word is selfish, is really what it is. When when you have a gift, when you have something
Yeah.
that other people need, and Tajane is very, it's true. Like, she literally witnessed this happen for me, and it was just organic, not anything that was planned. But I was at the right place and time, and um, what I said needed to be heard,
Yeah.
right? And I didn't even know it. And so that means that I need to do more of that, right? I need to be
Mm.
aware. So that was self-awareness for me. Also, there's things I've talked to Tajane about for years
Yeah.
that I haven't done, right? And realizing that now it's time to just get out there. And part of what that whole full circle moment was about our impact, right? What impact are we living in our full impact? What percentage of your impact are you using?
Yeah.
This study that I had done, it was a survey I took. I'm only using 88% of
Mm.
my full impact. There's still, another that remaining percentage is not being used. So what do I need to do? What can I change to make sure I'm having that full impact? And so that night, that was part of that, me stepping into what I'm called to do and doing more of that, right?
Yeah.
So this podcast is part of that. This is part of that obedience to and not being selfish with
Yeah.
with what I have. And same for Tosh and I. Like you all, yeah, it's me, but Tosh has a wealth of knowledge as well
Oh,
to share
I
and
mean, I
I,
get it from my mom. So,
so yeah, so that's what we're here for. We're
yeah.
here to just, and it really is all about sharing in that quality time, right? That's what quality time, sharing your experiences, your life experiences with others, the good and the bad, because you never
Yeah.
know who it can help, right? And
Mm.
so that's what this is all about, and being there to just um, make memories with others.
Yeah. I think it's also I can't remember. I think it was a podcast. I think it's called like the Manifesting Bestie podcast. There's a girl, her name is Flora Sivos, and I love listening to her podcast because I think she had mentioned something like, sometimes when we're creatively doing things, and I don't know if this is going to make sense, but she was saying sometimes it's as if that energetic charge we have, it's not actually active. Like imagine trying to use a vacuum that isn't on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I can't remember why I thought of this analogy specifically, but it's almost like if you're going in a direction of, like let's say you have like a creative calling or you have, something that you want to share, but you're not following up with that energy, with that like momentum, with that drive, and you're kind of just like slugging through it, just like waiting for things to happen instead of making them happen for you. I don't want to say it's a wasted effort. It's never a wasted effort. Anything that you do and anything that you get up today and even pour like a little bit of effort into should eventually grow over time. But I do think a lesson I've learned in this last year is it's like I've been trying to find a way to make all of my creative things comfortable. Like, how can I make this more comfortable? How can I make this less draining? How can I, instead of how can I make this more exciting? How can I make this thing that's making me anxious more like fun and more like giddy, And once you find ways to incorporate stuff like that into your routine, I think it genuinely changes how you show up. Like,
Yes.
for example, like even this morning, like before the podcast, we were both kind of just like, so I don't really feel like it. Maybe we should. I'm like, no, 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 no. We're gonna do it. Like, we're gonna do the podcast. Like, we're already here. We're already up. Like, let's just make it happen, And now we're shining, and we're just having a good time, and we're just chatting, and it's great. But yeah, so during that moment, for example, I was like, okay, like I'll call my mom because the quality time, like even just having her on the phone with me,
Yeah.
it helps me get through things because it feels like I have a companion who's going through the fight with me. So if you're ever working on things, I'm not even kidding, guys, go to a cafe. The energy of the people working around you will make you work a little bit harder. Or if you're having a hard time getting out of bed in the morning, sometimes I'll set a little 1 minute alarm on my bed, and I have a bunk bed for those of you who don't know. I throw my phone off my bed with the alarm, and then the alarm is going off on the floor and I have to get up. And then right after that, I have music queued up to play, and I run to my bathroom and I get ready. So it's just little changes like that that can jumpstart you into that energy of that person that you want to be, of that I can get through anything, I can pursue any goal, there are no limitations for me. And again, like I said, I do have ADHD, so I'm constantly having to hack my life with little stuff like that. Otherwise, everything feels really hard. But if I can do it, you can do it. And yeah, I have a mom who told me I couldn't not do anything. So it's really thanks to mom.
It goes back to, like you said earlier, impossible really says I'm possible.
I'm possible.
I can
Yeah.
do it, right? So,
Yeah, and then
you know,
false evidence appearing real too. Like when we
you
have
hear me?
fear, yes, when we have fear of things or we're scared, that's honestly just the future version of you being like, "Hey, this thing's really scary, but imagine if you overcame it. Imagine how strong you would feel. Imagine how next time that happens, you're going to be like, I've been through this before. And now I can tackle this head on. Like I have more confidence this time because I know I did it last time. So I
Yeah.
view I view every obstacle honestly as an opportunity to get closer to the version of myself that does speak up more because I've gotten a little bit more docile since I moved out here. I'm not gonna lie. I used to be very outspoken, and now it's more outspoken in environments like this where I feel safe, but less so in like work environments. You know what I mean? And the more I've kind of chipped away at that, and I've been like, you know what, I am gonna actually, inform this coworker about this boundary, or actually speak up when I feel like, yeah, no, that's not really okay. Like, when I say things like that, I'm like, I can say that in a polite way and still end up feeling stronger instead of getting kind of like walked all over and just putting up with things that are uncomfortable to make the other person comfortable, which doesn't make any sense. So, yeah, I just encourage you guys to listen to those signals in your body. I know a lot of us tend to kind of just, it's easy and it's honestly human to kind of just like shove stuff down or just be like, oh, you know what, I'll compartmentalize that and come back to it. And then we wonder why those same triggers keep coming up over and over and over and over again. We're not figuring out the root cause. We're not figuring out why and where that stems from, and then taking the steps to work on that, to put ourselves in the situations where we do have to kind of like say something about it so that we can grow. So that's a whole different topic. But yeah, the universe called me to say that, I guess, because it just came out and I don't even know where that came from. But yeah, so yeah, and that's what I also just think is beautiful about this medium. My mom and I, we can talk about really insightful and intellectual things, as well as, reminiscing on memories and just old visuals that we have stored in our like deep subconscious, to be like, oh my god, that did happen, and I do remember that, and I do remember that person's name or that experience. And that made me feel all warm and fuzzy inside, because I didn't even know I still had that in there, and these conversations bring those things back, and they also help us learn more about the people closest to us. So yeah, I don't know. Anything to piggyback off of with my little spurt of crazy just now?
Yeah, no, that was good. There's something you were saying that, well, okay, one thing you were talking about is some of the things like that you want, as far as habits that you want to break. Right? So yeah, that's something that, I think we all go through that.
New Year.
Just being, aware of those things, just making those small little changes, to improve an area that you're working to, that overall it will make a difference in everything that you're doing, right?
Yeah.
And I think that goes for everybody. Everybody has those things. And I would say, with that, it's just really being intentional, right? And being well aware of what it is you're trying to change, and the after effects. Like, think about that. Like, certain things that this is not good for you. If you did this, it would make all these other things easier if you just did it this way, right?
Yeah.
So it's all about just making those. There's this book that I read called the Slight Edge. It's just slight changes in your day, just like things, doing them consistently though, over and over. Just make that slight change every day for 10 days. Well, 21 days really is what they say makes a habit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just trying to just change something and looking for that result. And once you have this is the thing we talked about too, Taji, is that a lot of times we realize, if I only did it this way, it would have been easier, and it makes a difference. But why do we fall back? A lot of times we fall back into those bad habits. I mean, that's like for tons of people every year with losing weight and trying to stay in shape, right? You're strong for whatever those few months, like January, right? It's a big month. Everyone gets those gym memberships, and they go, and then by February, March, they're doing back, right? And so that, again, it's your mind, right? It's also a mindset change, and it's also a commitment and promise to yourself, right? What kind of change are you trying to make, and are you going to be committed to yourself and finish through and keep it going? Especially if you know that the benefits are healthy and good for you, right? So yeah, we all go through it. It's a struggle, but it's a mental. It's just got to be a mental change. You got to have a why too. Like, what is driving you? Like, why do whatever those habits are that you want to change? Why is it important? And who is it affecting? Right? Is it affecting you? But does it also affect someone else? So you got to, again, think about the selfishness of that, right? And how can you change so that it'll benefit everyone in the long run?
That's a good point.
I'll just say this real quick. I'm sorry. Did you want to?
No. Go ahead.
That's for me. Like, that's where, for my health, how I felt about making sure that I'm eating healthy and working out, because at the end of the day, it's for me, but it's also so I can be here for my family, right? So that's the effects of me not taking care of myself. So you gotta have a reason for why you're doing what you're doing.
Yeah. I think, what was I going to say? I think the why is definitely important, and I also think that's one of the reasons I'm so grateful for our relationship, is because like we do keep each other accountable, or at least like we try. One of the things that I have realized, because not everything is motivating for me. Like my brain constantly, it it does this thing where things become less novel. So like if one day, I'm like, oh hey mom, like if I don't get this thing done, I'm gonna text you and I'm gonna send you $10. The next day that could feel like nothing. I'm like, I don't care if I lose $10. You know what I mean? So sometimes I have to like up the stakes, be like, okay, I'm sending you 55. Do not send it back to me unless I get everything on this list done. And then if I try to make an excuse, I need you to like, I can. I've realized that that motivates me to get things done. And there was a time where I think I did complete the task, but I forgot to check back in, and I still ended up sending my mom the money because I'm trying to keep myself accountable this year, So, and that's an extreme version, but just having people in your corner that can add that little extra oomph of like, oh, I don't want to say I necessarily want to like, I don't want to disappoint this person, but I do want somebody that I know who loves me and who is rooting for me to also keep me accountable for my goals. And I feel like just having people in your life, whether it's, your parents or your friends or even like your partner, I think it's really healthy to just have people that you can go to for that kind of thing. Because I know for me, when I lost kind of the structure of like school and just A's and getting like, all of that stuff, it was really difficult for me to acclimate just to like daily life. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like the reward and consequence system is no longer in place. Like, what am I working for? Like, I still have the passion, I still have the energy, but also like I work for myself. So like I could just put it off. I could just, wait a week, or I could just take a self-care Sunday, which is good, obviously. But it's also good to stick to the goals. And I've also learned it's probably better to make my goals smaller. So instead of being like, oh, I'm going to accomplish an entire project that's literally impossible in today and just like burn myself out to make it happen, I can start working in chunks. Like I can work in chunks and I can do part 1, part 2, part 3, and then I can just get those parts done. And then I still feel that sense of accomplishment, but I've broken it down into like snack size pieces. So, yeah, just little things like that.
Time blocking.
Time blocking.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
It's a lot of people use that too, and even with longer projects, there's I'm gonna reference a few books because that's reading is essential too. So
it is.
Keeps your mind stimulated. But I believe it's called the 12-week plan or the
year,
12-week year,
yeah.
12-week year. Right, that you could accomplish everything you want to accomplish for a year in 12 weeks. And again, it goes back to what I was saying before. It's just that intentional focus, right? And being very focused. And like you're saying, breaking those things down, because a lot of times, and you and I both are guilty of the procrastination, right? We put it off until
wait for the momentum. Yeah.
And you have superpowers.
Right.
Yeah. 1 day or 2 days, right? And the whole thing is, and the stress that comes along with that is.
But really it's also like, well, if I know I can get it done in 3 hours as opposed to, the 10 hours I had that I could, I could do other things. Why would I wait? I mean, why would I do it early? But it's not, you're going to be stressed. Yeah. And if you can help ease some stress in the body, it's probably better for the nervous system as a whole. But yeah.
And also too, the quality of your work. Yeah, sometimes you can do it, but could it have been even more excellent if you were able to put the time in, go back, look at it again, recheck, make sure it's top notch.
Yeah.
So yeah. So yeah, it's good to just make sure you're balancing your time out.
I think that's hard though. It's like, because if the evidence is different, okay, because I will share this story. Like, there was a point in time when I was, okay, and this might just be because I tend to be more inclined to creative things. Like, I was never a big, like, science kid or a big math kid, but I excelled in, like, language arts, writing, anything creative, so like singing, dancing, acting, like all the creative things. And I was at school and we had a project one time, and I remember my roommate and a couple of other people like near my dorm they were working on this project for like 3-4 days, and I couldn't because the schedule that I had, I was literally in class from 8 to 4:30 every day, and then I had rehearsal from 4:30 to 10 p.m. and then the rest of the time it was like, okay, I still need to find time to like get the projects done and do other homework for all the classes. But it wasn't happening. I had to procrastinate and I had to get it done at the last second. I did that whole project in one night, and I got to class and I got an A on the project, and there are people that had worked on it for a really long time that have gotten like lower grade, and they literally gave me so much crap for it. They were like, "How the heck did you get a good grade?" I was like, "Listen, the difference is when I do that, I do so well." So I'm like, I don't think I would have that same amount of energy and creative like if I had tried to do it early when I didn't have that energy. But again, don't listen to me. I'm kind of insane and I like to work under like a chaotic schedule. That's just kind of how just acting the art industry and everything I've always kind of done. Like my schedule's always been a billion clubs, a billion activities, a billion, rehearsals on top of classes, on top of like things. And that is why I want to eventually retire in a cottage in the middle of the forest. But it's so at my core, I do want that peace, but because of habits I've built up over the years, I still operate that way. So yes, a goal this year is to get things done early, and I'm gonna actually see if I can have my mom keep me accountable to get auditions done sooner and just have more time to breathe. Because it feels so great to be like, everything on my list is done.
Yeah.
I can not procrastinate, but I can actually just enjoy this time off. I can just sit here and I can just enjoy a tea. I can enjoy a tea and I can enjoy and I can just enjoy a show or a nice chat without thinking in the back of my head about all of the billions of things I have to do. Like that's crazy. So yeah, it's to each his own. But it's a mindset switch. I need to switch the mindset because in my head I'm like, I had a role model who's literally Superwoman, so I can be Superwoman too. Like,
well, hey, I'll tell you too. No, look, and I'm guilty of it too. Like I said, we both have that as one of the things we need to work and improve upon. But one I need to work on, and I don't know what the issue is. And y'all know I love to travel, as Tajani and I talked about. But when it comes to packing, no matter how hard I try to, I know people who can pack a month in advance or a week in advance.
But what if you need stuff from the? I can't.
And I don't know, but you know what? This is the thing, Taj. I keep telling myself like I don't know if it's mental what it is, but like some of those things you could already have it, like your toothbrush, those things you use, or you can just have 2 sets, right? Like just have a set. So they make them in travel size, right? So there's no excuse to not. So my thing is, I told myself, okay, I'm always going to have a like pre-packed little travel bag that's already, and then just throw in the clothes. I tried it, and I think there's probably been 1 or 2 times that I was successful. I think I sent you pictures when I had my clothes folded. I call I don't know if you all are aware of the Marie Kondo. Marie Kondo.
Yes. The folding and the
series, yes.
Keep things that. Keep things tidy. That don't, or wait, no, get rid of the things that don't bring joy, right?
Spark joy. If they don't spark joy, she wrote
spark joy.
Tidy, but something of tidying up and sparking joy. But so I learned her method, right? So I was so excited about being able to get more in my suitcase. But it's too.
And then I showed you how to do the envelopes too.
Right. But being able to get everything in, I was able to pack one time like a week in advance, and I was just looking at a suitcase all packed and ready. And I did, like you talk about the weight. There's, I just didn't feel stressed. I wasn't like up the night before trying to get everything together. So it felt good. And the other part of that too, yes, I learned to compact things, which caused my suitcase then to be overweight. So now I have to get more in the suitcase.
But now you have to pay for the extra.
Right. So now it's like a matter of packing small, but still keeping the weight under control. So, but yeah, no, it's something I'm still working on perfecting. So, So we all have our.
Yeah. Do we think that that's enough for a podcast? Do we think it's about time we wrap it up, or how are we feeling? How do we feel like today went as far as embodiment? Like, I guess the question I'll ask you to end off is like, how have you, like, what steps have you taken to embody like your higher self this week? And if you haven't, then what do you want to improve upon? Yeah.
No, this is good. I think we were going to talk about this. Maybe we'll do it on the next podcast. But just the goals and visions. And so for me this year, yes, we're at the beginning of the year, beginning of January 2026.
Yeah.
And so for myself, I had some projects like last year. My goal was to finish it. Finish the race, finish all those things that I started and didn't complete.
Yeah.
Every year we have these things that roll over to next year. I'll do it next year. And last year I was just like, there's some things I just got to make sure I get done. And some of those things did roll over into this year. I did accomplish a few last year on my list, so I embodied that, if you want to say.
Mm.
So I'm proud of that. And so to start the year off, I'm already on a good start. I have
Mm.
a couple projects that I told myself I was off for vacation. I
Yeah.
wanted to complete before vacation, which I did. I did do that, and
Nice.
so I'm working on at least one of them.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got a few other things. I'm still trying to got one more day of vacation left. So we'll see what else I can hopefully not have to cram, but what I can get
Yeah.
done. But I will say, again, you can surprise yourself in what you can accomplish when you're very focused on it, right? And
Mm.
when you have a deadline, if it's for yourself or for someone else.
Mm.
And so that's what I did do last year, set some very tight deadlines for myself on some things I wanted to accomplish. And I stayed up and I worked through it until it was done, right?
Yeah.
Because again, to that point, I realized whose lives were touched or were
Mm.
attached to what I was trying to accomplish, right?
Yeah.
So when you have that in mind and you keep that in mind, if it's something for yourself or someone else, just that's the part I'm embodying right now. Those two things I talked about earlier, my impact, the
Yeah.
impact, and just being intentional and making sure I follow through, um, even when it seems difficult, even when I may not want to do it, because I got to recognize who may be attached to what I'm called to do.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. That's such a good answer. I feel like, okay, if I was to ask myself that same question, I don't know. I think this year, honestly, I have been more on it in terms of just little projects that I've been trying to complete and like actually sticking to the deadlines and trying to um, come up with more of like a strategy, like a research strategy about the things that I'm doing, as opposed to just like doing it because it's like a pattern or it's what I'm used to doing. I'm more intentional with the things that I'm creating, and I'm really excited about the podcast because I think already like it's getting me more intentional and helping me realize some things I didn't notice. But I also think that I guess a way that I've been trying to embody my higher self, it's really unfortunate because whenever I watch a new TV show, I feel like I get a new personality. Like whatever I consume, I'm like that. That is the energy I want to be. Like I
Yeah,
find a character that I have like a kinship with, and I'm like her, you know. And
yeah,
then I'm like for the week, I'm like I'm changing how I dress. I'm changing how I style. Literally, I'm
yeah,
changing how I style my hair. Like never have I worn
yeah,
this hairstyle ever, and now look, yeah.
yeah.
So, and I love it. It looks
It's
so
so
medieval.
cute.
It's like cute, and it's got little yeah. I live, and I never would have thought to do that if I didn't take inspiration from characters. And I think all that time in school, just analysis of like just studying characters and acting and cinema and all that stuff. It's bleeding into my reaction content and what I'm watching, and just the sorts of things that I love, and it's encouraging me to experiment with my style or experiment with the types of things that I want to create, how I carry myself, how I speak up about things. And so that's really what I wanted to work on this year, just not being so scared of things and just putting myself in rooms and around people that I have been invited to be around, instead of backing
Yeah.
out or cowering away or making myself smaller, because I don't think I was meant to be small,
Um,
but I've made myself so small over the years, and it's actually really sad. But I think
yeah,
small doesn't always mean safe. Like you can be successful and be happy and still be larger than life. You can still have that sparkle. And I was talking to my friend Jen about this, but I do feel like sometimes people can say things or experiences can happen that cause you to dim that sparkle a little bit. And I think it's just important to know that you can get that light back, and that as long as you're following your passions and you're following your heart and you're surrounding yourself with good people and you're just consuming things that motivate you and that help you grow as a person, you can get back to that colorful,
yeah,
bright, um, effervescent you that you once were. And I don't know. I see sometimes when I'm watching content, again, I'm bringing this back to K-pop. I would like to end this. I really would. But there's a group I like, and there's a member in the group, and I guess he had mentioned something to the extent that like he's like, I just feel like I've lost my sparkle, and like the other member literally was like sitting there bawling, and he was like, you're so incredible, and like I look back at videos of like myself dancing with you, and it gives me inspiration to like keep going and to work harder, and like the fact that you feel that about yourself, it like breaks my heart because you don't know how incredible you are, you know, and I just it just my heart. And so I was like, okay, that's how I feel about others. So like, why not myself, you know? So yeah, just working on bringing that energy back. And it's moments like these where I get a taste of it again, and I get reminded of like, I just do have good people, and I do have someone like you that I can talk to and I can share these things with, and you can tell me to stop being silly and remind me of you know who you are. What's the quote? What's the quote from The Incredibles? And you will remind him who you are. That one.
Edna Mode.
Edna Mode. Yeah. So yeah, I guess we will leave you guys with that, unless there's anything else you want to share, Mommy.
No, you hit it on the head. You know, I'm all about being that shining light. And I think maybe we'll circle back on that our next podcast
Yeah.
about that. I mean, a lot of people go through that, and it's important, you know, that to not just stay small. You are a light. You are be a light.
Yes, let there be light. Yeah, so I think, guys, if you want, maybe let us know what we should title our little Patreon and like what sorts of things that you would want over there. Because I do want to start getting it set up. And again, it'll be under my channel, Talks with Taj, for now until we get more of an idea of like what you guys are looking for from us, and then we can cultivate a specific one. But yeah. And yeah, whatever we should call that, and then what you guys want to see. Also, please don't forget to like, to comment, to share the podcast so that we can continue to grow. And please don't forget to share it with somebody if you think it would also help them or if it would brighten their day. And yeah, should we end the podcast with a word that they should comment down below? Should we go with embodiment, or should we go with something else?
Yeah, I like it. Embodiment.
Yeah. Okay. So yes, comment embodiment down below. And this has been Taj.
And Crystal.
And this has been Quality Time. See you guys next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.